Okay, first of all, I really thought that I would see guns absolutely everywhere. Honestly, like to be completely honest with you, I expected that every Walmart would sell guns. That was literally the idea that I had in my head.
Someone please tell me why Americans think they are the only people in the world that exist.
It's not supposed to be controversial. All I'm saying is that I was happier here in America than I was in Australia.
Conclusively, in the wide challenge today, Americans have the raccoons. Yes, Americans have the raccoons. While Kenya and other African countries, we have the honey badgers. Both of these two belong in the same family.
It's not supposed to be controversial. All I'm saying is that I was happier here in America than I was in Australia. And it's been a few months, so I've been able to test this and I'm still happier here. So let's get into it. Part 3. Things that America has that Australia doesn't. Hooks and coat check. Need someone to put your bag? Hell yeah. Yeah, well, America has that sorted. In Australia, my handbag and my phone is on the table, and guess what? It gets distracting. I'm gonna knock it over. I'm a clumsy girl. Second thing is there is so much variety here. I will have all the options to choose of all the foods, especially no sugar foods, and I'm a big fan of that. And this is going to be controversial, but the healthcare system, I'm sorry, but I am treated so much better here by doctors than I was in Australia. I was so sick of the treatment. And then everything I said in the other things, the celebration, the dating is huge, completely different. And then last but not least, you guys have seasons, like actual seasons. In Australia, it kind of blends together.
You're obviously rooting for Australia. If Australia can't win the World Cup, who would you want it to be?
Personally, probably England.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I lived in the UK for a few years. Also, one of my grandparents is British.
Very nice. And if you could wish one team to do poorly in the World Cup, who would you wish that upon?
USA.
Okay, fair enough. What is one player on Australia that's not like a world star yet that you think is going to make a name for himself at this World Cup?
I'm going to say 2.
Okay.
I'm going to say Geordie Boss. I think he's a fantastic player.
Okay.
And also Nestor Irinkunda.
Okay. What is your impression of the USA fans? You know, there's a lot said about American soccer fans, so not real soccer fans. What do you make of this environment?
They're similar to us because in the sense of like those who understand the sport, they love it. That's like us. Back home, if you love football, you love football.
Right.
Yeah.
Finally, just your score prediction for today.
I think it's going to be a draw, 1-1.
1-1. All right. Thank you very much.
When it comes to the United States of America, there is divergent opinions out there. Some are good, some are bad. It's life. That's how life is. Let me speak from my own perspective. I still consider USA as the greatest nation of all. USA is the #1 nation. Facts, statistics, or data support every point that I'm saying here. That is my opinion. But there are some people who do not agree with me. They have a lot to say. Listen to this.
Can someone please tell me why Americans think they are the only people in the world that exist? I don't get it. Nothing pisses me off more than when I see a video of a fellow Australian girl. I know this happened to Bailey. Bailey, if you're watching, I felt for you when this happened. And they're like, oh my God, it's the first day of summer, yay. And then it goes viral in America and everyone's like, it's not summer, you're an idiot. It's actually the first day of winter. Do you seriously think someone's that dumb to not know what day this, like what season they're in? Clearly I can't. I just thought it was common knowledge that different countries and places in the world operate in different seasons because the world spins. Like, how do they not know? And I swear it's only them. The rest of the world's fine. The rest of the world, they know what's going on. I just think it's so funny though because they're out here being like, you're an idiot, and everyone's like, you're so quick to come on here and say that, and you have no idea. You have no idea. And it's not just seasons either. It's not just seasons. Currency too. Why would the whole entire world use the US dollar? Make it make sense. I posted a video earlier last year, oh my God, it's 2025, talking about how I got Summer Fridays lip balm and I was trying it out and I was saying how it was like $42, however much it is. All of the comments were like, it's $22. You got scammed. You bought it from the wrong place. Bitch, I don't live in America. Like, and the people, they just think they're so right. Like, literally take 2 seconds to go on my page and scroll. Actually, no, the thing that actually gets me in this is it was a talking video. You could hear my accent. I clearly don't live in the United States. Use some common sense. I know you don't have any. I know it's hard. I swear these are just like common things that you learn in primary school though. Like, the US actually thinks that the world just revolves around them. I just don't get it. I am aware, like, a lot of people haven't left their own country before. Not really an excuse not to know these things. I know a lot of people who know this and haven't left Australia, but like, surely some of the people commenting these things statistically have left America. Like, they've been to a country that is operating in different seasons at the same, like, you know what I mean? They're in summer when Americans in winter, like, and different like currencies, like, and they still don't get it. I don't know. It baffles me. Moral of the story, if you're an American, get educated. Sorry, I do know it's hard. The education system over there isn't great, but like, come on. TikTok is at your fingertips. Google has like AI now. TikTok has AI. Ask Taco, whatever his name is. Ask him a cheeky question. He'll help you out. Don't embarrass yourself in the comment section. Okay, that is it for my little rant. Sorry, I've been a little bit irritable since I've gotten back from BTV, so bear with me. But thank you for watching, guys. Bye.
Why I prefer living in the US over Australia. So I lived in Sydney, Australia for 2 years, and I just moved to LA. So the first reason is everything in Sydney closed so early. Everyone there is like morning people and wake up at like 5 a.m. and I am not a morning person. So if I wanted to go out and do something, they have lockout laws, so you literally can't go in somewhere past 10 p.m. A lot of cafes close at like 5 p.m. And I'm like, what do people do around here? I mean, it's beautiful, but I just got a little bit bored, to be honest. So the next reason is the tall poppy syndrome there. If you say you're going to do something, you have a huge accomplishment or something, people won't uplift you like they do in America. They will make fun of you, make a jab at you, or make you feel bad or smaller. And it's the same as in England. And I hate that. Like, they use humor as a way to like make you shrink. And I just don't like that. Australians can be funny, but I just didn't really get it. And maybe I'm more American now and I get more offended easily, but that's how I felt. I also found it a bit pretentious. Like, people often talk about LA being fake, but I found living in Bondi Beach really like a bubble. Like, I came from Cambodia where I was doing missions, and I went to Bondi Beach, and people would just, it's like they lived in their own perfect world, and there wasn't like any issues, which some people would love, but it kind of felt like everything was kind of pretentious, and like, you know, they would be mad if like a coffee was bad, but that's like the worst of the problems, it felt like. And everyone kind of looks very similar in Bondi Beach, and it kind of reminds me of like what people think Beverly Hills is. So yeah, the last is the opportunities. I just feel like you cannot beat US opportunities. The sky's the limit here. Like, I feel like in Sydney, Australia, and in Australia in general, I feel like people are pretty content, pretty happy with nature. It's a very safe place, a beautiful place, amazing place. But I feel like I felt kind of limited, and I feel like maybe it's the age I am, but I just want to like have lots of opportunities and lots of fun events to go to. And yeah, so as much as it's a beautiful country, it just was not for me, and that's my personal opinion. There's so much good that I haven't mentioned, but those are the reasons why I prefer LA. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you agree or not.
Okay, first of all, I really thought that I would see guns absolutely everywhere. Honestly, like, to be completely honest with you, I expected that every Walmart would sell guns. That was literally the idea that I had in my head, that every single Walmart in the United States had a gun section. That is not true.
Well, there's all kinds of sections here at this Walmart beyond the groceries. There's one thing that I do not see is guns.
It took me like 5 Walmarts before I actually got to the one that did have a gun section, which was really interesting. Like, in Europe, you just do not see guns, ever. But in the US, they are relatively common. You do see in some states, obviously, like states that are like open carry states, you see people with actual guns, like right here, which is interesting because that was an experience I never had before. But I I definitely expected to see more guns than I did in reality. Now, this is not a video about gun problems and gun laws and things like that. I'm sure we all have our opinions. The fact is that I just expected to see many more gun shops everywhere that I went, and I did. One thing that I was kind of worried about, I expected everybody to always talk politics. Because again, you know, politics is such a big, contentious, polarizing subject, not just in the US right now, but all around the world. So I was really worried that I would come to the US and I would have to have political conversations with people, and that fortunately didn't happen. I mean, the funny thing is that if you're from the States, the way that you have a conversation is telling of your political stance. The way that you joke about gun laws, or even just like looking at fences, you know, with like Trump 2024 or Biden something. There is so much politics all around the US, and like I think in the like psyche as well, in the American psyche. But luckily, I think as a foreigner, you get the privilege of not having to talk about politics, and I feel like people do see you as a bit of an alien in some way, that they just kind of spare you the political discourse, which is great.
I remember forever ago, I came on here and I was like, you could say a lot of things about America. You can say a lot of things about America. We have good food. And a lot of Europeans, a lot of Western Europeans, a lot of English bitches got very upset. They had a lot to say about that. And then what happens when you guys come here for the World Cup? What do you say about America? That we have good food. Yeah, we know. We've been saying that. And it was always the same arguments that people would bring up whenever I talk about this. And it's like, now that they're here eating it, crickets. I'm hearing crickets. Well, you didn't invent any of it, did you? You didn't come up with it, did you? First of all, there is plenty of food from America that was like actually started and originated from here, okay? First of all. Second of all, it is incredibly difficult to pinpoint where food originates from, okay? Go ahead, tell me where the creme brulee is from. No, I'll wait. And third of all, the remixes that we make of certain cuisines are inherently related to America. They're very different from the original. Italian food is a great example of this. So like spaghetti or pizza, the concept you have of your head of what that looks like is inherently American, because tomatoes are native to America. The version of those made in Italy before the colonization of the Americas would have been fundamentally different. And that's not even going into how people describe the food health-wise, or if it's good for you, or portion sizes, or any of that, which of course are mostly based off of misconceptions and a misunderstanding of the culture. All that's to say, never doubt me again. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
American things I love as an Australian living in America, part 1. Number 1, the American flag. Now, Americans often think they're the best in the world at everything, but I'm not gonna lie, you definitely have the most iconic flag, and they are everywhere over here. This one behind me looks about 100 foot by 50 foot, maybe bigger. And you'd think, oh wow, that must be somewhere pretty important to have a flag that big. This is just a gas station in Marina Del Rey with this ginormous American flag. Hey, look at this thing. It's massive. You got the red, white, and blue. You got the 50 stars. For a while, I thought there was 52 states. I thought Hawaii and Alaska weren't part of that, but there's 50, right? Pretty sure that's right. All right, now in Australia, you'll see some Australian flags around, but nothing like you see here in America. Very patriotic here. Patriotism is at an all-time high over here, and when you see a flag that big, you can almost hear an eagle screaming somewhere in the mountains. Love it, guys. It's one of my favorite things. It's such a vibe. My name's Jesse Sunset. What are some particularly American things that you think I should check out?
What's one thing that pisses you off about Americans?
What I find frustrating about America is Americans really believing that they are the center of the universe and that there is nothing other than America. And it's so weird. I had an American friend in South Africa recently, and he tried to pay in dollars. And I said, no, you're in a different country.
My issue is, why is it a problem when Americans are bigging up their country? Why is it a problem when Americans are saying nice things about their own country? Why is it a problem for some people? Why is it a problem when Americans are patriotic towards their own country? Why should it be a problem? As far as I know, America is the greatest nation of all. That is obvious. That's a known fact. It's only a Japanese, for instance, who will travel from Japan and become an American in America. It's only a Chinese who will travel from China to America and become an American. It's only an African even as far as Namaingo village in Uganda, migrates to the USA and become an American. It's only an African, even as far as Kamukunji, who will travel as far as America and become an American. Show me any other country that does that. Show me any other country that accepts people from all across the world. Show me. Show me any other country that accepts nationalities from all across the world and assimilate and become an American. Show me even one. Show me even one. There is none. There is absolutely none. Show me any other country that has, America as a country is feeding a lot of nations. It is feeding a lot of nations, my friend. Some people have tried to subvert the American dollars so that it's only their own currency that will buy oil, but they never succeeded. That is what happens when you are the greatest. Some people don't like it. Some people start developing a little bit of jealousy. That is what happens. As we speak right now, the US dollars will be the only currency that will buy oil from whatever part of the world that you want to buy oil from. You will use the US dollars. You will use the US dollars as a marker to make the price, the global oil price. It is as it stands. It will be like that. It's also mind-boggling that some people have a problem that Americans are proud of who they are, that Americans are proud of themselves. Why do you have a problem that Americans are proud of themselves? Everyone should be proud of themselves. Everyone should be proud of who they are. Anyway, that is it for today. Conclusively, in the wide challenge today, Americans have the raccoons. Yes, Americans have the raccoons. While Kenya and other African countries, we have the honey badgers. Both of these two belong in the same family. Both of these two are related somewhat. Honey badgers are quite intelligent, adaptable, and can literally eat anything. They are omnivorous. The raccoon is the same, intelligent, omnivorous, and they are also somewhat aggressive. But the honey badger is 2 times more aggressive compared to the raccoon. The honey badger can also tear down a whole snake. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the wild challenge for today between the United States of America and Kenya. Kenya has the honey badger, while the US, they have the raccoon.